The bloody irony in it, eh? There's something that has been happening in the United States that is very reminiscent of what has happened in the United Kingdom. Oh my Gideon. Well, if you're in the United States, you'll know that a few years ago, back in 2016, a whole load of numpties put the cross in the wrong box, ripped us out of the European Union, and a majority of farmers voted for this Brexit. And if you're unaware of it, there were, European subsidies for farmers. There were protections in place to protect the farmers, not just from rogue imports and stuff like that, but also from chemicals and all that sort of stuff, and giving them the information they need to make sure that their cattle remains healthy. Banning stuff that is obviously dangerous for the farmers, but also to their cattle, etc. It goes on, list goes on, okay? All the inputs and stuff like that. Well, during post-Brexit, there was a massive problem regarding getting enough inputs. These are the things like your seed grain, your fertilisers and chemicals and stuff, because we couldn't get them because of Brexit. Put a massive strain on the farmers. Luckily for them, they managed to mitigate that to some degree. Costs went up though, nitrogen costs, everything went up through the roof, and also CO2 costs as well, which is a byproduct of nitrogen. Now, they lost their subsidies. They got a really meagre deal on the subsidies from the British government, led by Boris Johnson at the time. And it was, it is meagre, it's pretty much non-existent. And in time, it just disappears. Now, there is a rewilding subsidy, and basically a lot of farmers are setting a lot of their land to one side, so they're not growing food on it, which obviously doesn't really bode well if you have got a country that is dependent already on massive imports of food. We need the farmers to be growing the food, I'm not keen on farmers, all right? I'll be absolutely honest with you. They rape the soil, they rape the ground, it's just... The days how it used to be done, setting land to one side and stuff like that. Now it's just goes, we add more chemicals, we'll till it again. Now there are some farmers actually in the United Kingdom, also in the United States, who are going back to sort of old idealisms, or actually doing a bit of an experiment and setting land aside to see how we can actually regenerate the ground, because you need the biostructures for good roots. It's not just a case of you're whacking and let them grow, like a mad thing. They need to get all the minerals, you've got a bit of oxygen fixings, there's loads and loads of stuff. That's really, really important. But they voted against it. And they voted against their own best interests with Brexit. Now, the American farmers in the United States have also been complaining. They're very concerned because of Donald Trump, what he's been saying recently, and in this case, this is also reminiscent of what's going on in the UK. It's not just about inputs; it's also about inputs of people. Freedom of movement. We lost freedom of movement, so we lost a lot of the Romanians, what have you, who are coming over, working the fields and doing the back-breaking work, just like you in the United States with your Mexicans, Latinos and that coming over, and undocumented. Well, quite often undocumented anyway, because they come for a short period of time, they go back again in many cases, just like the Romanians, and some of them stay, just do what they can, and just, they're not making a fortune, are they? That's not making them rich. And besides, most of the Americans complaining about it, MAGA lot, moaning about these Latinos working in the fields, don't want to do the work themselves. You're just happy to get up the following morning, look down the back of the sofa and find yesterday's pizza and start munching on that with the maggots and all. Occasional skid mark, or, like crusty, because your pants went up your arse. Anyway, all your hairy bits are sticking out. So anyway, with that in mind, it's called, for the United States, the farmers are absolutely petrified. They're complaining, they're moaning, they're worried now, even though they actually voted for them. But will they admit that? Because that's one of the biggest problems we've got regarding the farmers in the United Kingdom. Not all, don't be wrong, it's the same in the United States. It's not all of them. They're not all batshit crazy, no. They're not all going on about flipping, they're eating the children. Or, yeah, well, the dogs. They're eating the dogs. Yeah, or even, they're drinking the blood of the babies and all that. They're not necessarily all, they're not all saying that, are they? I hope not. Anyway. So it's not all farmers. A lot of farmers are already responsible. You know, there's good farmers, there's bad farmers. Unfortunately, there's too many bad ones. All right? I don't like modern farming methods, but you know, as needs must, we need to grow, produce the food, don't we? Maybe if we cut down on the amount of meat we eat, that might help. The amount of land you need to produce meat for the feed and all that sort of stuff is considerable. It's crazy. So we could grow cabbages. It reminds me of Back to the Future, Mr. Oh crikey, leave the comments down below. Back to the Future, the guy's going to grow all the pine trees. Oh, good, grow the cabbages. Yeah, it's the whole thing is just nuts. It's like, what's the word? Oh, irony. Irony. That's what it feels like to me. A total irony. It's like, oh, he didn't mean me. Didn't mean my farm. Boy, he's got his little teenagers working there picking the fields and all that, you know. Oh God, that sounds... What the hell noise was that? There's a plane, but it's a very noisy plane. It sounds in a nosedive. Oh my God, there it is! No, it's not. So... It beggars belief, really, doesn't it? You know, so it's saying here, like in the UK, British farmers want basic income to cope with post-Brexit struggles. They shot themselves in the foot, right, with Brexit. And now, so they're saying it's struggles now. They got their Brexit, but they don't want to deal with it, you know? They thought it was going to all be, you know, roses and stuff. It's going to be lovely. Oh, Brexit. Keep the immigrants out. You're the ones that you're using, yeah. So schemes to replace EU subsidies will not plug the gap left by the loss of EU subsidies for most farmers. And farmers are calling for the government to grant them a universal basic income. They want UBI. Oh, my Gideon. And you've got the farmers in the United States complaining as well, and they want money. But you need food, don't you? You also import a lot of food in the United States, just like we do in the United Kingdom. It's crazy. Did you realise most of your garlic comes from China? You know. The farmers are calling for the government to grant them a universal basic income, saying that post-Brexit agricultural subsidy scheme has left many poorer. They thought they were going to get the same deal. They thought they were going to get exactly the same level of subsidies, because that was what they were told, even if we left the European Union. Well, that would be funny. That doesn't help them regarding the labour that they need, you know, to pick the food. Does it? Fruit? The food? No. Doesn't help them with that whatsoever. So these people, they're just flipping crazy. I'm sorry, but if you don't know your business in the sense of, you know, how your food is distributed across the world, well, then there's something quite wrong up there. If you think you're just handing it over to one geezer because he's bought it for you and then he's going to sell it on the side of the road somewhere for you, no. Well, this stuff travels all over the bloody place. And these supermarkets, they've gotten by the short and curlies. They really have. You know, I can remember a Norfolk farmer during the Brexit. He basically grew a load of turnips. No, it's got nothing to do with Theresa Coffey, no. But we grew up, if you don't know in the United States, look about Theresa Coffey. She was an MP in, I think it was West Norfolk. Yeah, she was awful, absolutely awful. She's the reason why I got a strike on this channel, was Theresa Coffey. Yeah, because I made a video about her, and that wasn't, anyway. So, I need to put that somewhere else because it's actually quite funny. Anyways, the thing is, you see, now I've lost my train of thought there. I think about Theresa Coffey, it's enough to wipe anyone's brain. I can't even remember what I'm talking about now. Blimey, oh well, never mind. Anyway, take my word for it, they screwed themselves. That they did. Christ, you know what? Theresa Coffey, she doesn't have to wipe anyone's mind blank. Oh, Christ, just the vision of her. Oh, naked. Can you imagine it? Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, so saucy. Ooh, doodaloo.